I'm 17. My name is Kyler Lewis. I have a cerebral AVM. I found out at the age of 15. I was at my ranch, and me and my sister were upstairs, and I suddenly had this really sharp pain in the back of my neck, and I was like, I don't know, I thought to myself, maybe I was sitting not normally or something, and I was riding in the car the next day, and I don't remember this, but my mom told me that she would ask me things and I couldn't answer them, or she would ask me who people were and I couldn't acknowledge it.
We were driving in the car to just down Highway 6, about at Rock Prairie Road, and Kyler turned to me and asked me how he got in the car. And I said, well, what do you mean? We were just talking about it. We're running some errands. And he goes, yeah, but was I asleep? How did you put me in? Did you put me in the car? And I said, no. And he said, I'm going to throw up. And I later realized or found out that was because of hydrocephalus, which is swelling in the brain. But at the time, I had no idea. And so I pulled over, and we were very, very close at the time to the local doctor. So we went to the local doctor, and at first he said that Kyler had a migraine headache and that I should take him home and put him to bed. And my husband and I talked about it, and we didn't think that it was a migraine headache. It just didn't feel right, in our heart that was what was wrong. And so instead, after our conversation, I decided to drive to Texas Children's in Houston and just get a second opinion. He didn't know where he was. He couldn't remember anything for more than a couple of seconds. And they acted like my son was on drugs. And I kept telling them, you don't understand, that's not my kid. My kid's not like this. They were like, oh, pee in a cup, And I'm like, no, there's something really, really wrong with him. And they said, okay, well, if you insist, we'll do a CT scan. And they did a CT scan, and within like 5 minutes, everybody was just rushing in all around me. And they said, I'm looking at them going, what's wrong? And they said, your son has a mass in his brain, and he needs emergency surgery. And that's kind of how our story started.
It's just like falling asleep and like in my bed, and then waking up and I'm in, not my bed, I'm in a hospital bed, and there's tons of doctors around me and machines, and I'm hooked up to everything that you could possibly be hooked up to, and you're strapped to a pole with a plastic tube coming out of your head. It's crazy. When they told me they had removed part of my skull to put a tube in, I was like, no, they didn't. This is ridiculous. I was fine. Y'all gave me Tylenol, right? Can I go back to sleep? But no, and I have stitching and stuff in my head and stuff, and they've shaved part of my head. It's crazy. But when you wake up to something like that, it's a really scary place to be, and not having your family all around you, right? Just my mom, not knowing where my dad is. I know my mom told me that my brother and sister were with my aunt, and I feel bad for them because they were probably scared, They don't know what their brother is, what's going on with him, what he has, or if he'll make it or something, right? When they showed me pictures of the thing in my brain, I nearly passed out. I was like, there's no way. How could anyone live with a thing that's this big inside of their head that's taking up like a sixth of their brain, I want to say, maybe a fifth. But I just don't, when they showed me that, I was like, this is not real, it must be dreaming. Like, there's no way you can live with a big old mass in the size of your brain. But here I am.
My husband and I realized right away very quickly on the importance, on the power of prayer. Because now all of a sudden I have a kid that needs emergency surgery, that has a mass in his head. I mean, we thought he was just like everybody else, like all the other kids. And so we started a page on Facebook called A Cure for Kyler. And the reason for that was because we knew that we could not get through this on our own at all. And we needed help And in particular, we thought that the more people that we had that could hear about Kyler's story, the more people who would be able to pray for him and help us get through, this situation that we didn't even know, how it was gonna be, or still we don't know, but it is a time in life where you know that you need help and you can't do it alone, and having people pray for you and knowing that there are people that really care just can make the situation a whole lot better.
I think it's good for everyone to pray for each other, because I know that prayers really helped me go, especially when people let me know they were praying for me. Because, think of it. When one person prays for another person, you already know that that's gonna help a lot. But I have like 1,500 people praying for me. So I picture it like this. God was helping me, right? Go through what I was going through, right? He got me to the position of me not dying, right? So, and then all these people come in and pray for me, and he turns around and he doesn't remove like anything, like my ability to walk or see. So that's how I pictured it. But
I think honestly that Kyler is doing so well right now 100% because of the power of prayer. I just don't see how he could be where he is right now without so many people praying to God and God listening and saying, okay, you've got a prayer warrior army behind you.
This is making Kyler into who he is. This is going to affect Kyler for the rest of his life. This will change how he looks at things. It changes how I look at things. There's like this time in our family where everything is pre-April 10th, 2020 and post-April 10th, 2020. Because it's like, when you deal with any sort of thing that's traumatic, or if you lose a family member, it's like, what was it like before maybe the family lost that family member, or before mom had cancer or whatever. And it's not that everything post April 10th, 2020 for Kyler is worse, because it's not worse. Yes, he has a thing he's having to battle with and all that, but
now we can help other people.
But it's just,
now we can let them know.
That's exactly right. It's perspective, right? How you look at things and how you want to move forward. And Kyler
can be there for other families.
Yeah,
and
Kyler does it. He kicks butt.
I know.
He's so good at talking to other people that deal with this and say, look, I was in your shoes, a year and a half ago or whatever, and I know what you're going through, and you gotta,
be strong.
You gotta stay positive and be strong, and say prayers and fast for prayers, and God works in.
He has a plan for you.
Yeah, he does have a plan for everyone. So I'm really proud of him.
There's no guarantee that the radiation that we're doing is going to work. And we are worried because his brain is having cerebral edema, which is swelling around it, that we're trying to control. It just hasn't been able to be controlled yet. And that was one of the reasons why we started the See a Pig, because Kyler's favorite item is a pig. Take a pic and say a prayer for Kyler, because we wanted people to think of him, in their day-to-day lives and continue to pray for him, because I feel the power of prayer has just gotten us so very far. I would have never thought that my son would have been able to start his senior year of high school at CSHS. And yet he's not only there, he's walking, he's attending his classes. That is a huge miracle. If you read about brain AVMs, and especially after a rupture, that is a huge miracle, and that is the power of prayer.